Hey, welcome to the Remotely Review. I'm your host remotely. Thank you guys for tuning in. Did you guys see the Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion part 2? Yeah, it was on Sunday, and the girls were back in full effect, okay? Nene brought the heat, Kandi brought the heat, Tanya brought the heat, Eva brought the heat, Cynthia brought the heat, and even Andy brought the heat. They had Andy on there cussing. I swear. Andy was saying cuss words. He was using profanity. Yep, old Andy Cohen. But anyway, yeah, the girls were back in full effect. They came with guns a-blazing, but I gotta tell you, Kenya won again. Yep. I'm just saying, Kenya won. Kenya had the best insults. Okay, not saying that that's right. I'm not saying that's right. I'm not saying it's okay to be insulting everybody. But, I mean, this is what they do. These girls are here to entertain us. I bet you in real life, they're not friends or enemies. They're just business acquaintances. They show up to do a show, you know? And so I can appreciate that. But, Kenya had the best comebacks, clapbacks, I mean, you name it, she was ready, locked and loaded, okay? Now, for me personally, the biggest one of them all was when she said that Nene was the ugliest member of the cast. Look. That lady told Nene that she was the ugliest member of the cast. How do you say that to somebody? That's pretty harsh, right? I couldn't believe it. I was on the floor, again, dying laughing. I mean, you know, it sounds simple, right? Oh, you're ugly. No, it hits harder than that when you're on a show like that amongst all of those women. I think it hits harder than that. You know, I can only imagine what Nene was feeling at that time. I'm not sure if she took it personal or not. Like I said, I think these girls show up ready to kind of, you know, take some punches and leave with some bruises. I think they show up that way with that attitude. But, I mean, when you're right there in the midst of it as it's happening, like, unless you're built for that, it'll tear you down. I mean, but Kenya kept them rolling. Somebody asked Kenya about her wigs. I think it was Tanya. Tanya was coming at Kenya about her wigs. I guess Kenya had been denying the fact that she wears wigs. But on the reunion on Sunday night, she did admit to wearing wigs, but she did it in such a slick, boss-like way. She was prompted the question, "Do you wear wigs?" And her response was, "Yes, I wear wigs sometimes to protect my 24 inches of real hair." Look, I swear, that's what she said. And it's like, okay, like, Kenya, we get it. You got real, natural texture hair. We get it, and it's beautiful, okay? But, you know, to come back that strong, was that necessary? It was funny and quite entertaining, but was it necessary? Probably not, but she sure gave it to us. So take that, Tanya. That's what you get for coming on the show and trying to one-up one of our veterans. And so the show progresses, and we get Kandi and Nene battling each other, and Kandi's upset because of what Nene had said about her on her YouTube channel. And so Nene brought up the fact that one of the cast members had been getting spin-off opportunities, just, you know, all willy-nilly, pretty much. And I guess Nene's fed up with it. I guess she is not getting enough work, or maybe she's not a fan of any of the projects that Kandi's been putting out, but you know, she says that somebody had been getting a lot of spin-offs. Now, she didn't name anybody during that time, but I think it was obvious to a lot of people who she was talking about, because she couldn't have been talking about Kim Zolciak. Kim Zolciak is no longer a member of that cast over in Atlanta. And so she had to be talking about Kandi, because we know Kandi's had a few spin-offs. She actually said that on the show on Sunday, that she was going to have another one. I don't know if it's going to be with Bravo, I don't know, but These are the words coming out of Kandi's mouth on Sunday, okay? And so I guess Nene's got to get ready for that, okay? Now, to defend herself against that, Nene still stands firmly on the fact that she was not talking about Kandi because she didn't name anybody. But of course, Kandi did take it personal, and she had a few choice words for Nene. And she basically called Nene a hater and said that, you know, she'll always be on her mind and in her mouth and stuff like that, you know, because she's a boss and she's got a lot of money and stuff like that. And as they were arguing, Cohen muted the two of them. Yeah. You know, it's a virtual reunion show. And so everything that you're looking at, you know, these girls are in remote locations. Like, they're not in the same location for this reunion because of the pandemic, okay? But they're doing a virtual reunion show. And so I guess Andy has the main switch over on his side, and he can control the audio and who's on screen and who's not on screen and stuff like that, you know? And so while Kandi and Nene were arguing with each other, I guess he couldn't get a word in, and so he hit the mute button. Now, I found that to be a little bit disrespectful, because for me, it's like, if you're going to ask me these questions and then allow other people to speak over me, when it's time for me to speak, let me express myself. Let me share my thoughts. Let me give my side of the story. You know? But anyway, I guess Andy couldn't hear, so he muted them. But anyway, as the show progressed, Nene got a little bit stimulated and heated, and she decided to walk off. Yep, Nene left the show. She pushed that laptop down once again. And she exited the room. Now, following that episode, Nene did release a statement. And to be honest with you, I actually agree with that statement. I'm going to read you guys the statement that Nene wrote. Nene says, "It only felt right to personally remove myself from the reunion. So much had happened this season. The cookie lady, Mark and Kenya's fake marriage, Dennis accusations, Snakegate, and much more. But drilling me on subjects, muting me, flashing back to things that had happened since the show has wrapped, like my relationship with Wendy while in quarantine. Why didn't they ask about Kandi's restaurant shooting then if that's what we're doing? Interviews I've done since we wrapped the show that has nothing to do with the show. After deciding that apologizing for certain things was only right, that wasn't genuine enough. Starting over with Lil Sis Porsha was made fun of, and here they go bringing someone on the reunion that I was personally told by executives wasn't allowed on set anymore. All this and so much more felt like the rules only applied to me, and that I was being held to a different standard than others, but you continue to be the judge." That's from Nene Leakes. That's what Nene said. Now, I want to point out one thing to you guys. That shooting that took place at Kandi's restaurant, I was shocked by that too. I noticed that no one said anything. It wasn't brought up. Now, if you guys can remember, I actually made a review about that one maybe a couple of months ago when it happened. Yeah. And so I was concerned. I was wondering, well, is this incident going to affect her business? Is it going to affect this show? You know? Is it going to affect Kandi's image? You know? Because there was a shooting at Old Lady Gang. That's Kandi's restaurant out there in Atlanta. Yeah. And it was all over the news. You know, we'd heard about it. I talked about it in my video. But they did not bring that up on the reunion. And so I'm with Nene. You know, I mean, yeah, you've heard this stuff about me, but that's minor considering what this lady has been dealing with. You know what I mean? Tell us what happened, Kandi. Did somebody get shot for a particular reason, or was it just a bang bang shoot 'em up drive by? Were the bullets intended for you and Todd? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. We don't know. We don't know. And so anyway, I think Nene's justified in her reason for leaving. Also because, like I said earlier, do not mute me when I'm trying to tell my side of the story. You sat here and badgered me all night. You've allowed these women to speak over me and about me in a doggish way. I'm a veteran on this show. I've been here since day one. How dare you? How dare you? How dare you mute me? How dare you? And so I'm with Nene on this one. I'm with Nene. Eva Marcille had her scene on Sunday night. And I mean, like, it was heartbreaking. Eva basically shed light on the Kevin McCall situation and exactly why she chose to change Marley's name from McCall over to Sterling. If her story is true, I salute her and I applaud her. If it's true. This is all alleged, but Eva Marcille says that she was in an abusive relationship with Kevin McCall. She said he was abusive, physically abusive. I couldn't believe it. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I never heard that story until Sunday night. I never knew that Kevin McCall was abusive towards Eva. Eva says that Kevin McCall had beaten her so bad that she had to call the cops. Eva said this. And so Eva doesn't even refer to Kevin McCall as the father of her child. You want to know what she calls him? The donor. I'm not lying. Look, she called that man the donor. How disrespectful is that, right? That's the ultimate disrespect. You're that much of a deadbeat. I hate you that much. You're such a loser. Donor. She even talked about how Kevin McCall had come down to Georgia, I guess trying to fight the custody battle. And I remember when the Shade Room and the Neighborhood Talk and all of them had released this statement from Kevin McCall, and he was basically asking for some money to get back to California because he was down in Georgia. I had no idea that that's the reason why he was down in Georgia. I didn't know. Or maybe I just forgot. I don't know. But when Eva mentioned that, everything just started coming back to me. Like I started to remember the post about Kevin McCall. And so I'm assuming somebody sent him some plane money. I don't know. But Eva said he got locked up out there. He got locked up because he was acting crazy in the courtroom. This is what Eva said. I didn't say Kevin McCall, so don't come after me, okay? Don't send for me. But isn't that crazy? And so Eva got so emotional while telling her story that she had to get up and walk off camera. Yep. She lost her composure. She had to leave the set. And then Queen Kenya actually got up to go and give her a phone call to check on her and see how she was doing. And I thought that was quite admirable of Kenya. Because, she and Eva had had their words with each other. There was just a lot going on back and forth between the two of them. And I think it was very mature of Kenya to actually get up, take the high road, and go and check on her sister. Okay? And so moments later, Eva came back and she joined the other girls, and she continued with the reunion. And, look, my heart goes out to you, Eva. If all of that took place, thank you for sharing your story. We greatly appreciate it. Now I feel a different way about why you changed Marley's name. I'm going to keep it real. Like, a lot of people do that stuff for tax purposes. I'm just saying, like, y'all know I ain't lying. They do that stuff. They change the kid's name, and it's just for tax purposes. But to add that kind of story behind the action, I applaud you. I wouldn't want his name either. And so, it's unfortunate. You have to wonder, well, what is little Marley Ray going to grow up thinking about her father that she's never seen or she doesn't have? I don't know if Eva's going to allow visitation with the little girl. Like, I don't know, but right now her mommy calls her father the donor. That's got to be crazy. I mean, I know she's going to acknowledge Michael Sterling as her father, but that's only if the marriage lasts. That's no shade. I'm just saying, like, look, you guys know, things happen. And I'm just saying, well, what if they divorce, or what if something happens? Then Mr. Sterling's not her father either. So, but good luck to you guys, Eva. I'm glad that things have worked out for you and you're living comfortably with Mr. Sterling and your children. Bravo. Now, of course, they asked Nene about the Wendy Williams debacle. Okay? Yeah, you guys know that Wendy Williams had made a statement about Nene, and it wasn't, I guess it wasn't the most kind and friendly statement. Wendy Williams basically acknowledged Nene as being the girl over there kind of thing. Like that friend who, yeah, like I know you, I talk to you, but I don't really F with you like that. You know, like, and y'all know those kind of friends. You know, look. Now, that's clearly a very sensitive subject for Nene. She doesn't like to talk about it. And they've asked her this question several times, and she doesn't like to really go into detail about it. People are accusing Nene of simply using Wendy Williams' friendship for strategic purposes. You know, I guess to kind of push her career and give her the one-up over the other girls. Kandi had even said that she thinks that Nene uses that friendship to kind of share information about the other girls, and then that way when she goes on the show, people will like her more than they like the other girls. I don't know, you know, I don't know if that's Nene's strategy, but this is what Kandi said, you know. And so, I don't know what's really going on, but Nene does not like to really talk about it. And so they asked her about it on that reunion, and she got heated, and she tried to explain herself. I'm not sure if people really bought it. I get it though, even if it is strategic, like I get it. That's that industry, you know what I mean? Like, first of all, they don't even have time to be buddy-buddy like that. You know, both of them have careers. These are working girls. They both have active careers in the entertainment industry. So you really can't expect them to be all buddy-buddy like that, you know? But I can imagine them being very good acquaintances, you know what I mean? Like, for what it's worth. You know, Wendy gets a mention over there on Bravo. Nene gets a mention over there on Wendy Williams' show. You know, it's a win-win situation in my head. But I guess some people don't see it that way. And they're trying to badger Nene for what Wendy said. Now, let's just be honest. You guys know Auntie Wendy is a little batty sometimes. She is, you know, she is. She's a little batty. And so sometimes she says things that she really doesn't mean. It just happens like that. She's done it before. Okay? And I'm going to give Wendy the benefit of the doubt and say that perhaps she didn't mean it that way. People just kind of misinterpreted what she was trying to say. All right? And so I don't blame Nene for not wanting to speak about it. It's personal. That's her friendship. And I don't think she owes an explanation. If Wendy chooses to go on her platform and discuss their friendship, that's on her. But Nene has no obligation to actually go on her platform and discuss them. She doesn't. You know? And so, like I said, I'm on Nene's side with this one. Sorry, girls, but Nene wins in this argument. But again, like I said, Kenya takes the cake for the night. Queen Kenya all the way.